Missing yesterday, the Spurs are off today ahead of their game tomorrow night with the Sacramento Kings, the start of a 4-game homestand for the Silver and Black. Tuesday night at OKC, and the Spurs 123-87 lost to the Thunder. Things got a bit chippy early in the fourth quarter when Zach Collins tried to tie up Thunder guard Vasily Micic. Kendrick Williams didn't like it, so he retaliated. Both Williams and Collins received technical fouls. Yesterday, Malachi Branham was asked if that's just frustration with how things are going.
Just a soft.
Not really, none of that. It was just hard fouls. Hard fouls, you know, don't let them get and ones and stuff like that. So, you know, just it wasn't. I don't feel like it was nothing dirty, you know, towards them or, you know, anything. It was, you know, just making a hard play. That was it.
Spurs will host the Kings tomorrow night at 6:30 in another NBA in-season tournament and group play contest. Winners of 4 straight, the Texas Longhorns will take their show on the road to Ames to face the Iowa State Cyclones Saturday night. Texas is 9-1 overall, 6-1 in the Big 12, and primed for an appearance in the Big 12 championship game. Now, it's no secret the Horns have struggled with the Cyclones in years past, prompting Cyclones offensive lineman Gerard Hufford to recently say he doesn't think the Horns really know what is going to be coming for them, and it's going to be one heck of a farewell present to send them off to the SEC with a loss. During his weekly presser, Horns head coach Steve Sarkisian talked about bulletin board material.
The reality of it is, as much of that gets said kind of publicly week to week or not week to week, I think our players hear things, you know, indirectly. And we try not to just put too much into that. We try to focus on our mission, and we've been on a mission since week 1, and that mission continues Saturday night. So we try to keep the focus on us. We try to be enamored with what we need to do to play the game at the level that we're capable of playing.
Number 7 Texas will play at Iowa State Saturday night at 7, and the Horns are favored by 7.5 points.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Led by rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud, the Houston Texans are 5-4 this season and second in the AFC South behind Jacksonville. And they currently own the final AFC wildcard spot. How about that? Running back Devin Singletary was named AFC Offensive Player of the Week after he had 30 carries for a career best 150 yards and 1 touchdown in the Texans' thrilling 30-27 win at the Bengals.
Man, it's huge. I mean, I definitely felt like he deserved it. He's somebody who works his tail off, man, and he's came a long way in his career, all the way back at FAU to here, you know, and he's always been a really good back, but, you know, people have always doubted him, his size and everything, but, I mean, he proves people wrong and proves himself right consistently, you know.
The Texans will host the Cardinals Sunday at noon. In the UIL Volleyball State Tournament, Davenport currently leads Salina 1-0 in that 4A semifinal. Last check, that match was late in the second set. We'll have more for you on this match on the Night Beat.
Bring it home.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Your medical questions answered in Doc Talk, coming up next.
We take your questions to the doctor. And the doctor is in. We're joined by University Health Dr. Leo Lopez now, who's joining us to take your questions. And a big topic lately has been RSV. Yeah, we want to start with that because we know that there are more cases. University Health is seeing more cases right now. So talk about what you're seeing in terms of symptoms, and especially something I want to get across is when is it time to get some help? Because this is another respiratory illness that a lot of times shares symptoms that so many others do.
I appreciate the question. So just to kind of level set, RSV is short for the respiratory syncytial virus, and we are in the middle of RSV season. So we are seeing a rise in cases, and we'll expect to see that throughout the fall and the winter. And so some of the more mild symptoms that we can expect are things like cough, congestion, runny nose. But we can also see some really bad and more severe symptoms, shortness of breath, wheezing, difficulty breathing. We can see, children with decreased activity and just not looking like themselves. And so it's always good advice to go see your doctor if you ever feel that there's anything wrong, but particularly for those more severe symptoms, you want to see somebody with some urgency. Because what we do know is that for most adults, RSV might feel like a bad cold, but for really young infants and for older adults, it can get really bad. So bad that you might end up in the hospital. And this condition can be life-threatening as well.
And that's things like struggling to breathe. I mean, something more than your typical respiratory illness symptoms.
That's right. So struggling to breathe, like increased work of breathing, but also looking like you've got decreased activity and lower energy. Those are all signs that should indicate we've got to get to the doctor to get checked out.
We have some other questions I want to get to, but quickly, there's a vaccine out there. Is it widely available?
So it's an important question. So we know that supply is currently limited for infants, but there are products available for both older adults, pregnant women, and these younger children. So if you're 60 years old and over, definitely connect with your doctor to see if this is the right option for you. If you're pregnant, between 32 and 36 weeks, there is a vaccine available so you can pass on this immunity, this protection to your child. And then for younger infants, there's also another immune protecting type of product to help them be protected from RSV.
Yeah, okay, let's get to some of our viewer questions we know we have here tonight. The first one is from Donald, having to do with diabetes on this one. He is asking, how do you encourage a person with diabetes to lose weight, and can insulin actually cause you to gain weight?
I appreciate the question. I think it's first important for us to recognize that diabetes is a global health crisis. In fact, about 500 million people around the world have diabetes, and that number is projected to increase to over 1 billion in just the next few decades. And the number one driver of these cases is the condition of obesity, or having a body mass index of 30 or greater. So I think the question asks about weight management. So there are some things that folks can do today to start to make some changes related to weight management, and they start with our diet. So if you are consuming sugary beverages like lemonades, teas, sodas, juices, that sort of thing, maybe identifying one day next week to where you say, that day, I'm going to cut out some of those sugary drinks. And those small wins will add up over time and can really benefit your health. You also want to try and get in at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Again, starting slow and building up to where this becomes part of our routine and part of our lifestyle. You also want to try to eliminate eating too much fast food, sugary snacks, and salty snacks, that sort of thing. And then exercise is really important too. Trying to get in at least 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week if you're an adult. But I know this can be overwhelming to start to put into action. So we encourage family members, communities, neighborhoods to work together, motivate each other, inspire each other to make these small changes, so that way we as a community can start to see some larger impact.
A 30-minute walk, as simple as that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be really beneficial.
All right, so next question has to do about caffeine and coffee. Sure. Why does coffee, this is from Will T, why does coffee affect my energy level so drastically throughout the day? I want to take it to another level here and say, there are people who will drink coffee throughout the day. Some people have 2, 3, 4 cups of coffee. Is that a bad thing for your health?
I appreciate the question. And so for the 150 million Americans who are drinking coffee every day, this is particularly relevant. So we know that there are benefits and some side effects from the caffeine aspect of the coffee. So caffeine is a stimulant, so it can increase our mental energy, kind of sharpens our focus a little bit, increases our concentration, that sort of thing. But having too much can actually make us feel a little agitated, anxious, and on edge. And then there's the withdrawal aspect of it, where we can see some lower energy and that sort of thing. But I'd also encourage folks to, or at least to recognize that there are other things that can cause low energy. So while the viewer may be attributing the low energy to the caffeine or to the coffee, definitely encourage them to follow up with their doctor to get a full evaluation of their symptoms. And then to the question about the bad thing, of whether this is bad or not. We suspect, or it appears, that a safe level, generally speaking, of caffeine is about 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. But again, we want to ensure that folks are connecting with their doctor for that full evaluation. There can be other things that are causing low energy, things like anemia, thyroid problems, diabetes, those sorts of things, to name a few.
Yeah,
Right.
Caffeine affects us all differently, right? Okay, our last question here is from Anna M. She says, I am 65 years old, just diagnosed with osteoporosis. What doctors should I see for help?
So osteoporosis is a condition of having weak bones, and this can be really dangerous. We worry, one of our main concerns is breaking a bone. Having a fall, breaking a hip, breaking a leg, breaking a bone in your back, that can be life-changing. It can impact you just getting around the house or around the yard. And so we want to take steps to try and prevent that. So there are a few things in consultation with a primary care doctor or a specialist called an endocrinologist that folks can do to help treat and care for their osteoporosis. And one of those things includes, again, nutrition. We want to make sure that we're getting in enough vitamin D as well as calcium in our diets. We want to incorporate some strength exercises and balance training as well. We want to try to avoid smoking and drinking too much alcohol. And then in consultation with a doctor, they might consider a type of medication called bisphosphonates that can also be helpful. So definitely encourage folks to circle back with either their primary care doctor or their endocrinologist for a personalized treatment plan.
All right, Dr. Lopez, University Health, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's good to finally meet you. I mean, you've done so many of these, and I've been off when you've been here. It's nothing personal.
Pleasure to connect.
All right, thanks, Doctor. Doc Talk every Thursday at 6:30. We'll be right back.
You still have time left to call into our KSAT community phone bank supporting Share the Shoes. We are teaming up with Zapatos and the San Antonio Police Department to raise awareness about this collection drive, giving shoes to kids who need them. Something so simple can brighten a child's day by donating. And with your help, we can make sure that so many kids have proper footwear. You can donate these shoes at any of the SAPD substations now until December 12th. Right now, the folks you see here, those are volunteers standing by here at the KSAT studios to take your calls to help out to donate. That number to call is the one you see here on your screen, 210-351-1363. They will be taking those calls until 7 o'clock tonight.
I like the officer in the back that was on a phone call, and he was waving like, this is live. We're really live here at KSAT taking these calls. Again, 210-351-1363.
All right, let's talk about the forecast. We had some big changes today, and I don't know if it's just this view, but it looks a little murky out there.
No,
Look at the spotlight off in the distance. You see that?
yeah, you can see it nicely because of the faint low clouds that we have in place, leftovers, remnants of that fog bank that developed earlier this morning and largely lifted and kind of burned off, but we still have some remnants of it and get ready for another round of it tomorrow morning. As for right now, we're at 61, not much of a temperature drop this evening. We'll get to 56 at midnight. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be at 55 degrees. We'll talk about our next noticeable cold front. And if you saw a halo around the sun today, I'm going to explain what caused that in a special Thermometer Thursday. We're getting into a new season. See you in a bit.
This was kind of a strange day because it was sunny.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it got kind of murky again. And
I said it was a weird morning.
yeah.
Wasn't just you. A lot of people were feeling the same way. All right. It was nothing you had last night that made this happen today.
All right.
No, you're all good. It was a little fog bank that developed east of town and decided to drift in, linger for a bit, and then drift back out. And we also had some high clouds overhead. Take a look at this photo from Taylor, submitted to KSAT Connect via the KSAT Weather Authority app. And we actually see this fairly frequently, a halo around the sun. This is called a 22-degree halo because of the 22-degree radius of that ring around the sun. And it's caused by the refraction or bending of sunlight through ice crystals high in the sky, because these cirrus clouds that we had streaming overhead this afternoon are composed of ice crystals. And actually, sometimes these can be more vibrant depending on the orientation of the ice crystal. Ice crystals are hexagonal prisms, and so if they're all oriented in one direction as a prism, then you can get sometimes more vibrant colors. Pretty interesting. Nerd alert, right? Anyway, it's fun. Take a look at the visible satellite, and you can see those high, thin clouds streaming overhead from the northwest. Here's another view. As we lose our daylight, of course, we lose our visible satellite. But those clouds, the thin veil is what causes those 22-degree halos. We see them fairly frequently, even though it may not seem like we do. They're up there periodically, and you'll notice them from time to time. That's what it is. And actually, this stream of moisture, upper-level moisture, coming in from the Pacific, arcing up and over the desert southwest, and then here into San Antonio, helping to create those 22-degree halos. Now, our next system, this big, broad upper-level low that's west of California, that's slowly going to move eastward, bring some of its moisture with it. But unfortunately, I don't anticipate much of that moisture here in our neck of the woods. Rainfall potential is generally up and around our area, parts of the desert southwest, north and east Texas, and even along the Mississippi. But remember, they need rain here too elsewhere. So at least they're getting some around here. We're talking 10% chance Sunday and Monday. That's with that system and the cold front that it's bringing. Now, speaking of cold front, dew point's not all that bad right now in the 50s, so you don't feel the mugginess. But keep in mind, as the air temperature drops down to that dew point, that's going to mean the air is saturated, and that means another round of fog developing for tomorrow morning. And you'll feel a hint of mugginess in the air over the next few days, well, several days, basically all the way through Monday. But then that cold front hits, and the humidity swept away, and if you're susceptible to dry skin, you may be noticing it on Wednesday and even Thanksgiving with that much drier air in place. With the transition, with the cold front, gusty, we're talking Tuesday behind that front, wind gusts at least 30 miles per hour. So plan for a gusty transition on Tuesday with that front. Fog in the morning at 55, then sunny and 78 by the afternoon. Into Thanksgiving, low 40s in the morning, so nice crisp start. And then by the afternoon, we're talking sunshine and mid 60s. Just right for that walk around the neighborhood to help burn off some of those calories. That's a different turkey than earlier. It is a different turkey. Okay. And I just gave away what season it is here in Thermometer Thursday. It is ornament season. Yes, it's good. Here, Santa Jim came by the other day. He's been busy with his elves in his wood shop. He's been making the backboards for the thermometer ornaments. Look at that. That's just part of the stack that we have. And starting after Thanksgiving, I'm thinking around December, early December, the first week of December, that's when we'll start giving away at least one thermometer ornament per day at that point. I love this time of year. A bunch of different types of wood, including some beautiful mahogany. That's what I'm holding with some of the sapwood on the outside, so you get the different colors to it. Okay, anyway, if you want to win a homemade thermometer, go to KSAT.com/thermometer, and today's winner is George Sanchez of San Antonio. The George Sanchez I just sent an email to, and he's getting one of the, actually a more unique one. This is an 8-inch thermometer. Normally I make a 6-inch thermometer. This is an 8-inch, so it has a slightly higher resolution. It measures down to at least 1 degree, but the same range for our climate, of course. You know what I like about your relationship with Santa Jim? Yeah. Most people are Santa's helpers. For Santa Jim, he's your helper. I wasn't going to say anything, but I know Santa. Yeah. He helps me sometimes. He helps me out. No big deal. Nice.
We'll be right back.
Put that on your resume.
It's already on it.
To the Buzz, looking to bring a unique dessert to your Friendsgiving or Thanksgiving dinner? Well, Baskin-Robbins now has created a special ice cream flavor for the month called Turkey Day Fixins. It's said to taste just like its name.
Why, y'all? Baskin-Robbins says the flavor is a combination of some of the sides you look forward to at Thanksgiving: sweet potato, autumn spices, swirls of cranberry sauce, and pieces of honey cornbread, all in one scoop.
And cold.
No thanks.
Yeah, pass.
I'll take the pie.
We'll be right back.